folks, Carl here. Happy smile on my face today. Why is that? Because I'm out taking my state entitled walk for the day, and also afterwards going to buy my groceries. And it feels good to get outside and make the most of your entitled walks and exercise. It's good for the mental health. Took my chosen mode of transport today. Good old bike, and not breaking any laws. In fact, I'm going the second mile, and I'm not doing the 2 metre rule, but I'm doing the 4 to 10 metre rule when I can do it. So get out there and make the most of your entitlements. Don't be afraid. There's a lot of people out there on Facebook and the internet at the moment, at home, scared and out of that fear, hating on other people who are doing something for themselves to get out there and make the most of a bad situation. That's to do with emotional thinking. Let's talk about emotional thinking for a minute. Emotional thinking is the kind of thinking that masquerades as logic, but is actually completely irrational. For example, when your fears go up, your rational thinking goes down. When your anxiety levels go up, your rational, logical thinking goes down. So you think you're being logical and rational, but you're not. It goes a bit like this. What's the principle of this isolation at the moment? Is it not to stop infection? To stop people being infected? If the people who are at risk of this terrible virus right now are isolated away from everyone else and cannot be infected by the virus, how are they at risk? They're not. If you're outside going for your walk and you're obeying the 2 metre rule, or going the second mile and obeying the 4 to 10 metre rule even, and you're not in a position to pass on an infection to anyone else, how are you placing them at risk? If you're in your car driving around, the windows up, and again you're not in contact with anyone else, how are you placing them at risk? You see, folks, the reality is, if you step outside your door and walk, people aren't dropping dead as a result. The principle is not infecting people at risk. So therefore, folks, make the most of a bad situation. Be responsible. Wear a mask. Keep the 2 metre rule. But don't let your fear and anxieties and that fester so much that you get hateful, resentful of other people who are out there trying to look after themselves and take care of their mental health. You probably realise right now, if you do a bit of research, that people in close quarters and confinement, their distress levels go up. And psychology tells us very clearly that when distress levels go up, people's predictable and observable distress behaviours also increase. What does that look like? That looks like people sabotaging themselves and sabotaging others. It's not a good thing. So don't be emotionally minded, be rational minded, use some wise mind. Understand the anxiety, but also understand the logic of the facts and the principles of the chain of infection. I know about these things because I'm a nurse, been a nurse for 30 years, specialised in psychology. So I understand these things and understand the fears, they're very real. But encourage yourself, rather than being resentful and being like the neighbourhood Gestapo and dobbing everyone in because they're actually working within the entitlement. Why don't you get up, step outside, smell the fresh air, go for a walk, within your legal rights, do some shopping, be respectful, but don't hate on other people, don't be resentful. Alright? Just my thoughts today. Oh, by the way, I'm going to the supermarket after my entitled walk, and I'll be sure to get myself a receipt, because that's evidence that I've been out for my walk and I've been out to buy some groceries rather than just flouting the laws, unless anyone's going to get hateful towards me and dob me in for something I haven't done. Anyway, look up, be encouraged, take care, keep well, bye for now.